such an asshole.
All right. I got a question. I frankly can't believe I got an answer for a guy who's as old as me, maybe older, maybe a little bit, about as old as me. Let's go through it. Keep it kind of anonymous. Hi again, Aaron. I'd like some career advice this time. I turned mid-40s this year. I started a career 20 years ago by getting a business degree, which landed me in a well-paying consulting gig in finance. After 15 years of that, my soul was screaming for a more meaningful existence. So I left the major metro to go back to a farm where I now live debt-free and have about $650,000 in liquid savings. Here I shoot guns, ride motorcycles, and feel in my heart that this is where I want to spend my days until death takes me. Sometimes I fantasize becoming a farmer, producing food for my local community, as we all have the equipment and facilities dormant but ready to go. But IT seems easier and more profitable. I'm going to stop you here only because there's a great movie you should watch called Hail Caesar. Please watch that. That'll help you make this decision. I'm going to vote farming. Okay, IT is easier. All right, but are you going to enjoy it? Farming is harder. So what? Some hard things are worth doing, for their own sake. Sometimes it's challenging. You don't want to play on God mode. That's like being a Canadian. Give us the money. It's cold. Let's lynch that French douchebag and his son. Yay. Why do we need America to protect us from the Russians? Look at our Navy. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. Look at our little canoe. However that song goes. Yeah. Do you want your life to be Canada? I don't want my life. I want my life to be like 1940s America, World War II, and like, look at the thin women. They probably had crotchless panties back then, I'd imagine. You like to think so? You don't, and here's what you're governing. I'm going to get to the dictatorship part later. You don't need the money. Why don't you go and make your food? Wouldn't that be also like kind of a secure thing? Like, it doesn't matter how much welfare the welfare bums get and how much we all become Canadians. Give us lots of welfare and snow and icebergs up north, whatever. I don't know the tune of it. Or would you like to be like, I don't care if the food runs out. I got my own. It's almost a little bit of a sadness where you have all the gear and equipment that the gas is going to go bad. It's going to fall into disrepair and rust out. Like that stuff, I'd be kind of like, I don't know. But you can do what you want. You have the money. So the question isn't what's easier. It's what's going to make you happier. That's what you should do. Again, Hail Caesar, great movie. I pivoted into software engineering several years ago and took freelancing job writing software for clients, which was very lucrative for me. However, this stuff does not allow for remote work, so I quit that gig to pursue something I could do remotely. Good for you. I mean, can you do both? Look, you can't be out in the field all day either, right? I mean, everyone like A or B? Can I date a blonde or a brunette? Both. No. Should I have ice cream or pizza? You could have both. No, must have one. Because it's independent contracting stuff, it's IT. You could scale that, do a little bit of it. You might, and you should, because it will diversify, and not only a skill set in your income, but if whatever the communists come to take your farmland, they like to do that, right? Because they know better how to farm, right? They're communists. They have degrees in the liberal arts and the social sciences. And then you're like, oh, okay, bye. I'm going to Germany or wherever they didn't take over the country, and then now I'm programming. Some type of I trained for the rest of 2022 to become a cloud developer of sorts, and now I'm facing a dilemma. Do I? And here's where it comes. Hang on, let me make sure. Okay, we're good. We're live. 1, continue to focus on the programming coding side of things while I'll be considered a junior for a few more years. This pays less unless I freelance, which is a bit more stressful than being employed. Yeah, freelance, man. But it is quite fun once you get the hang of it. And since few people can do what a skilled programmer can do, I don't have to deal with HRBS as much. You don't have to deal with HR ever again. You have the money. You have FU money. Bye. You need to take diversity training. No, I don't. Bye. Bye. But. However, being a software developer is hard on my ego. Here we go. He's a pussy. Pussy. I don't like being inferior to others. I'm fairly new to programming, and my peers are usually at least 10 years younger and more experienced than I am. I'm attracted back to management consulting where I would be an authority. Again, let me explain something to you. You contradict yourself. However, being a software developer is hard on my ego. I don't like being inferior to others. And then we say, I would like to be an authority again. Sir, do you understand that you demanding to be an authority and not be like being inferior to others makes you an inferior man? Oh, think about there's some wisdom. You're such an egotist. You are uncomfortable being inferior to others and you insist on being an authority? You are an inferior man. You're weak. Now, maybe physically you're strong. You know, lift weights or do something, but you are a weak, pathetic man. That's why I charge you much. And this is the kick in the nuts I promised to deliver you. How pathetic are you that you cannot tolerate being in this situation where you are inferior to someone? Not morally, not ethically, but you tell me a day that goes by, you're not an inferior when you're in a group of people, right? Okay, I went to this omelet shop. They got good omelets. Perfect example right there. I am an inferior omelet maker to everyone in the kitchen. No doubt in that busy restaurant, I was an inferior, I'm trying to think, an inferior driver. You know, there was a couple hundred people in this restaurant. Actually, it's quite packed. I'm an inferior surgeon. I'm an inferior weightlifter. I'm an inferior in many ways. At any time you go into any situation, you are inferior. I go to get my car fixed. I'm an inferior mechanic. But I'm okay with that because I know I'm not supposed to be superior. I don't have an ego. I'm not a small, you don't get pencil dick. You get toothpick dick man where it's like, I gotta be in control, bro. And here, yeah, you were a business major, weren't you, bro? What do you care? Well, you got money. You had a career before. What do you care if you're inferior? If you're inferior, usually it means less responsibility. And you're doing it for fun. Are you going to be pissed off you're an inferior farmer if you start farming? You're on a date with a girl. Oh my God, you're an inferior woman because you can't give birth? Why do you got to be in control? That's what you need to work on. That's the stuff dictators are made out of. That's where you could have a great wife, a great woman in your life, but you're a controlling freak and people don't want to be with you anymore. Man, you're more than half dead and you got to be in control, huh? Okay, have fun with that life. Accept a well-paying job offer to become a management consultant with said technology. As such, I could leverage my former career as a management consultant and not feel inferior as much. Beady weedy dick. Oh, look at the little dick I see. I want you to come to Vegas, all right? And we're going to make a lot of money, okay? Because we got the Mob Museum, you got the Shelby Ford Mustang Museum, you got the casinos and all that. I want to have the smallest dick man in the world museum. We got, ladies and gentlemen, the man with the most insecure, smallest penis. Here he is. Dude, it's a problem. You better get rid of that inferior problem. Look what it's costing you. You don't have to work a job you don't like ever again. You got freedom. But because you got this sick, twisted thing in your head that you need to be an authority, you're going to pass up on a great life. a 3, possibly 4 decade retirement where you just get to work the land, maybe do some side IT gigs and get to do what you want and enjoy life and ride your motorcycles and do your hiking. You're going to throw all that away because you got it in your little head that you got to be in charge. Dude, middle school ended several decades ago from you. Nobody cares, bro. They don't care if you got a fancy car. They don't care if you got a fancy title. And above all else, you shouldn't care either because it's costing you the most. If you, I don't even know that you had 650,000 liquid assets. That says nothing about the land you own. Dude, if you got FU money, if I got FU money, the last thing I would ever do is go back to banking because they'd make me whatever, senior vice president by this age. You couldn't. Aaron, give up your podcasting career and the hiking and the total freedom and the sleeping until 10 a.m. and the drinking of the coffee and the smoking of cigars so you could go back into banking. Why would I do that? Because we're going to make you senior vice president. Oh, zip my dick down and cut it off. Here I come. Will I have authority and control over other people? Yes. Ooh. Are you nuts? And here, you're going to go back to your old job? You said it was soul sucking and made you miserable. Why would you do that? And not feel inferior as much, but I would have to deal with people a lot. Man, I don't. You have a piece of farmland where you could farm if you wanted to. You got enough money, you don't have to farm if you don't want to. You got to make IT stuff. What's wrong, man? Could we throw a redhead with big kazooms? You'd be like, I mean, what's going to make you happy? Do you not see what you got in front of you? You're like living the dream. That's what every guy wants that has his head out of his ass. You'd have to deal with people. I would get to travel, though. You can't travel now? Do you know how many Spirit airline flights you could get with $650,000? Which can be good for me as I tend to close off and not leave the farm unless forced. Well, maybe, well, not maybe. For a fact, look, you can always go back to management consulting, man, okay? Don't do that. But that's a little problem you got, don't you think? You like to travel, but if you get to the farm, you have to force yourself to leave. Well, that tells us a couple things. Maybe you like the farm. Maybe you don't want to leave. There's nothing wrong with that. Or maybe you get into patterns that are rigid and limit you. And deep down inside, you do want to travel, but for whatever underlying psychological reasons, you don't take the action. Well, maybe that's an opportunity for you to eliminate that holdup, that hang up. Go to the farm like, nope, once every quarter, I'm going traveling. Something to consider. Wait for winter. Why not go now? Unless forced. I think I need a kick in the ass once in a while to get out and mingle. I always have a good time doing so, but I never seek it out voluntarily. That says a lot, though. Look, man, I've kind of given up on friends. Like I always said, you got to bring, friendship is like the U.S. military. You got to bring the war to them. People they rarely come hang out with you. And it's exhausting trying to get people to do things they don't want to do. Hey, come out here. Let's go hey, come on out. Let's do this. I'm tired. And so I've given up and now I spend more time at home and I relax more. And it is what it is. I can't control it. You can only give the offer to people. But where'd it go? You need to kick an ass to go and mingle. I always have a good time doing so, but I never seek it out voluntarily. Well, what's that telling you is that you prefer to stay at home, unless there actually is something wrong with you. And, keep in mind, there's no right or wrong answer. If you feel like going out, go out. If you like going out, don't go out. But if you think there's something like, man, I really ought to go out more, go out. Force yourself to. Like, if I don't always feel like going to the gym. You don't always feel like going out, but you force yourself to anyway, right? So why don't you force yourself a couple times? And then, like, say 3 trips go by, you had fun, but ask yourself, would you have preferred to stay at home? I don't think you have some kind of underlying psychological reason. You're just getting old. I was like, I prefer to be at home. It's not like you're 21 anymore. It's all new. Oh my God, I'm going to fly to Europe. Won't that be amazing? Where's the food? God damn it. They don't have food in Europe. 3, I don't need to make a lot of money. I could probably get by on 17,000 per year without feeling that I'm missing out or living intentionally minimalistic. But I'd rather have more money than less. So monetary compensation is always top of my mind when considering my options. All right, well, you can easily make 17 grand very part-time. And 17 grand out of 650,000, unless you have an exceptionally long life expectancy, you should be able to pull 20 grand a year out of you. Well, what's 650, 25, that's 30. You got, assuming your investments don't grow at all, you got 30 years of $20,000 a year investments. So you don't have to work if you don't want to. Maybe, and here's the problem, this is probably what you're facing. You got 3 decades and change working. You're my age. It's hard to not work. And I'm not saying don't work, but you're in the mindset, I got to work corporate, I got to work IT, I have to do something sensible. No, dude, you got plenty of money. And you could do part-time fun things like IT. Wait, you can't consult? Can't you open up your own consulting shop? Why not do all 3? You farm, you do a little IT, you do a little management consulting. It's all under your terms, all under your, you work when you want, you don't work when you want, you charge what you want. You grab your laptop and off you go. The only thing that you'd really have to be physically there to do would be farm, but there's a farming season, I'd imagine. And then wintertime, get the hell out and go someplace warm. So as always, I go, what out of the 4 options I came up with, what should I do? And as always, I say you should take some from that, some from that, and some from that, and some from that. But don't do all the rest. But I'll tell you this, 2, absolutely not. You're not going back to being a management consultant full time. 3, I like a little bit of 3. You don't have to work as much. And then 1, yeah, do a little bit of IT stuff. But why? But I absolutely would not give up your life. Like the rule would be you're working remote for the rest of your life. I'll consult, but over the internet. I'll program, but over the internet. I'm self-employed this entire time. I will do as much or as little IT work and management consulting work as I want. And I'm going to farm in the summer and the spring. And then I'm out of here in winter. It's just what I would do. But this shtick where I'd feel inferior and I need to get back to work to get authority, that will ruin your life. That will ruin your life. And I know maybe in management consultant and you're in finance, you got that psychology. That's a disability. It's a mental disorder. Not disorder. It's a mental disability. It's preventing you from even seeing what you got in front of you in this awesome life you could have. And I'll tell you this because I'm guilty of this. It's not like you win the lottery like, oh yeah, now I'm adjusted to this new life. It takes a long time to adjust. It's taken me years to just like, oh, I can play poker every night if I want. Oh, like even right now, I got to do my consulting, then I got to do my taxes. I could literally not do anything for the rest of the day. I could do nothing for the rest of the week and still come out financially ahead. I should probably tune into some turd flinging monkey and go for a nice long walk, but I don't have the dog with me. Dog is elsewhere. But because you're coming off this relatively new, you got to get used to the new normal. And so what I would recommend, start farming, start tinkering, start getting the tools up and running, the machinery up and running. That'll be a good, nice mechanical problem for you. Keep doing your IT thing. And if you got contacts in management consulting, well, maybe open up your own little consulting business on the internet. You got the programming skills for it, right? To set up the website and everything. So there you go. Kind of clean, sharp little thing. Contact somebody. It's like, hey, you ever got a little bit too much on your plate? I'm doing an independent contract thing. Send me a little bit. Got a little bit of this, little bit of that. Farming, put on your Farmer Brown hat. Oh, is that snow? F this, I'm out of here. Put everything away in the garage. You go lie on a beach in Florida. And and you never worry about controlling people ever again. Never. Because here's the thing, man. Do you know what a pain in the ass it was being like, think about Putin, okay? If someone call him a dictator. Do you want his job? Do you want to control those people? Xi Jinping probably a little bit more communist, but do you want to get the Kim Jong-il guy or whoever the son is now? Dude, I get pissed when my girlfriend asks me, well, what kind of, shirt should I wear? Shut the F up and choose. I don't want to make decisions for people. I don't want to tell people to do things. What do you want for dinner? The best, ladies, listen. You girls listening, all three of you, listen. Don't ask him what he wants for dinner. You know what he likes. Just choose and make it. That's the best gift you could give a guy now, where it's removed. He doesn't have to worry about it. I had this friend. She was dating a cop. And it's like, he never makes decisions. I looked at her. I'm like, all he does for his job is makes decisions. Do I arrest this guy? Do I pull this guy over? Do I have to pull out my gun? Do I go here? Do I go there? Do I put all that? These people got problems. I got to tell them what to do. I got to direct traffic. He comes home and you're like, beep, 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 beep. You want to be a harpy? You want to be a nagging wife? That's what you want? You want to be in control? Hey, Aaron, shh. Are you about to ask me what you should do? Because you don't have a brain and you can't make it? Dictator Aaron, what crop should we plant? Don't give a crap. I'm banging the redheaded royal mistress right now. Shut up and make your own choices. Try that. You want authority over people? Sounds like hell. Sounds like literal hell. I mean, here's another movie. After you watch Hail Caesar, watch The Guns of Navarone. This isn't Hail Caesar is the importance about doing things that are hard in life. The Guns of Navarone is about blowing up German guns. Okay, but there's a little sub-philosophical thing about David Niven's character where I think he's just a corporal. He keeps refusing promotion. He's like, I don't want the responsibility. And that turns out to be an important decision he made down the road in the movie, where all of a sudden a hard choice has to be made. He's like, don't look at me. I refuse promotion. I'm just following orders. That's your job. All right. So there we go. Some super chats here. I started playing that Guacamole Melee. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. It's a fun playing a luchador. Jasper Heva, can't say it. €6 claims high IQ. Can't say my last name. Misgenders my nationality. Oh, Cappy, you sure a bankster of no real value. What are you? No, Swiss has their Swiss franc. What is the euro? Austria? It's German, right? Isn't it? Have. Now I'm curious. Bob, $2. Not everyone can be like you. I'm half. Oh, don't, Bob, don't. Oh, man. Okay. That's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.